Hello, today is August 11th, and today we are doing a very fun topic called DRUID, pun not included. We're working on the Oxygen Not Included wiki again, and we are going to do a DRUID info box. We're going to be converting a portable info box called Infobox Destination. And you can see right now it is a portable info box. There's a bunch going on here. It's not too complicated. There's a bunch of elements here, and the elements are going from 1 through 5, and the resources are going through from 1 through 5. And so we are going to be wanting to do a loop here. And because we want to do a loop, we are not going to be using the loops extension. Instead, we're going to be doing a hook. And so if we go over to recent changes, which will be loading momentarily, we are going to be using a hook. And so I've pulled in the default hook from the WikiGG support wiki. I may end up writing a little bit of code in Sublime Text, but I'm going to try to do everything in the browser. I'll zoom in a little bit. So we'll try and do everything in the browser so that I'm not using any external hooks, or sorry, I'm not using any external tools. So should be doing everything directly here the way that you can do it sort of out of the box. So we'll start out by doing a template that's going to be just doing the sort of static fields, if you will. So we have this type here. So we've got type and we have distance. And then we're going to have like the title, and we'll have an image here. And then there'll be a little bit of stuff sort of outside of the info box where we're going to want to add like a category, or this is a category for the template, but we'll want to add a category to the page. And then after we've added sort of the static fields, then we'll go and we'll do the dynamic fields where we're adding these elements, and then we'll have like a little bit of formatting that we'll do in Lua using the hooks. So even if you're familiar with DRUID info boxes already, you may find this to be a little bit interesting so that you can use this as an introduction to see a little bit of how you do stuff in Lua. And I like DRUID hooks as a way to see how to do stuff in Lua for the first time, because there's kind of a lot of text here, but most of the text here is comments. We will be deleting most of the code here. Most of this is example code, and we'll end up deleting this. Like 99% of this will be deleted when we go through the and write the hook here. And you'll end up being able to start out with very little scaffolding needing to be done inside of here, and it's mostly just very elementary Lua logic. So it's a great way to start out with Lua, to start out with writing info box hooks. So that said, let's start out creating some DRUID info box code. So I have this page here, and this is where I'm going to transclude the info box too. I promised Untitled that I wouldn't break the ONI wiki, but I am actually going to create a template on the ONI wiki. It won't be used anywhere, but I'll make a template, and I'm probably gonna I'll put a space in this name because that's sort of how I like to style template names, and I'll call this Infobox space destination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to pull the support wiki over here, and I'm going to copy some code over from the support wiki. Because I'll be honest, I talk about DRUID info boxes a lot, but I don't actually use them very often. So the easiest way to implement a DRUID info box is to copy one of the examples. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to just let my browser autofill here, and I'm going to get rid of this and then put action equals edit. And I'm gonna copy this here. And so let's see, I'm probably gonna want to have like two windows side by side. So let me, that's okay. Let me, okay, this is a little harder zoomed in. But I'm gonna grab this and put this side by side. And then grab this. Okay, sorry, I probably should have set this up before I started recording. But okay, we want to have the info box destination here. Okay, so the kind is, this is going to be a destination info box. We can go with the default separation, or we can go with the default separator here, which is going to be a comma, because I don't think untitled. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I don't think any of these fields here is ever going to have a comma in them. Like I don't think you're ever going to have to display a comma in the info box content. Like the user doesn't ever have to see a comma on the displayed page. This image, we can go ahead and probably leave this here. I think 300 pixels is going to be fine for the with the width of the image, but we can go ahead and change that if we have to. So what are the sections going to be? So the group, it looks like we're going to have composition is going to be one of them, and then I'm going to go ahead and control F group. Again, we have composition, and then we have resources, and then there's so there's 4 matches total, so that's going to be the open and close tag of 2 groups. So we have 2 total, and then we're going to have the 2 groups are going to be composition. So we're going to have composition is going to equal something, and then we're going to have resources is going to equal something. And then it looks like so resources is going to be the stuff that we're going to do in Lua later. So I'm not going to define resources now, because we're going to do resources later on in Lua. So I'm just going to leave resources as is, and we're not going to worry about that for now. Because resources is entirely this ordered thing where we have these we're going to loop through a bunch of stuff later on. So I'm not going to worry about resources right now. So if I were to define resources right now, like if resources were like resource 1 and resource 2, then I would say like resources equals resource 1 comma resource 2. And then I could write this right now. If it were 2 resources, I could write this, and then on the page, then I could like expect to provide like resource 1 equals, and then resource 2 equals. I could expect the user to then provide this when they call the template later on. The font that I use, by the way, it has a ligature for HTML comments. So this is like this is just a regular HTML comment. I'm using the JetBrains mono font as my default monospace font in Firefox. So it has a couple ligatures for these commented or these like HTML comments. So that's why you see some characters combined like that. But nothing like magical is happening. It's the font that I'm using. So we could specify that. We're not going to. We're going to handle that in the Lua hook. So composition, again, composition has the elements, and that's going to be oh, and you know what? I think composition is also magical and happening in Lua. So you know what? There's actually 3 groups, because the first one is unlabeled. So general, we start out with general, and then we have composition and resources, and composition is going to happen in Lua. Composition is magical. General is going to happen at the top, and general has no label. So we're going to write general no label equals yes, and then we're going to say general equals general has type, and type has okay, so type is being provided by a lowercase parameter t, and then the is being labeled by an uppercase t. So type label is type. Okay, so normally in Druid by default, things are labeled by the same thing that you specify. Okay, so what I mean is that normally you would say that the data point that goes in the general category is capital T type, and the user specifies type equals, and you display the field called type with an uppercase T. Okay, so what I'm putting down here is like what the user specifies on the page, right? We're at the template right now, and right here I'm showing what you put when you call a template on the content page. Okay, so content page, right? So normally this is the so these are the sections, and fields in each section here. So we would say we would put type, and then we would put distance, and that looks like there's just type and distance here. So we put type and we put distance. And these are also the labels. Okay, so we specify type, we specify distance, and the labels are type and distance. But because we're converting an existing info box that has existing fields that are already on the wiki, and we already have data pages that are on the wiki that already have hard-coded lowercase t and lowercase d. So we have to specify lowercase t, we have to specify lowercase d, which means that we want these to be lowercase t and we want these to be lowercase d. So we're going to say type label equals type, distance label equals distance. Okay, this is I would say this is not idiomatic for Druid. Okay, that's how I would describe this, is that this is not idiomatic for Druid. This is not how Druid wants you to do things, but it's possible. Okay, Druid allows you to do things this way. So if you're converting existing things, if you're converting existing info boxes, if you just prefer to have lowercase labels like this, if you just want to do things like this, you're absolutely allowed to. You can totally do lowercase parameter names like this, and then you can specify whatever kind of label you want. If you change your mind later, if you had type and later on you want to change it to and later on you want to change it to location type. Okay, so you start out and you write type. Right, so you start out by having type, and then you're like, oh, I want it to display location type. Change it to add a label parameter. Okay, you can always add a label parameter and change, and you can convert from the parameter to what is displaying via this underscore label. Okay, you can always put an underscore label. So we're going to put type and we're going to put a underscore label, and we're going from lowercase to uppercase. So this should be the quote unquote simple fields here. Okay, the file is the page name here. Okay, so instead of an image parameter, we want to have a name, and we want this to be name falling back to page name. Normally, I would suggest to use an or here. I would want to use the or parser function here. I don't like using this kind of default thing, but since this is what we're doing, and I'm not redoing the best practices here, I'm trying to one-to-one convert to Druid. I'm going to use the same thing that they're doing here, and I'm going to use page name. The one thing I am going to do is I'm going to add a comment here, because I don't like putting 5 consecutive braces. I want to put a comment here to make it more readable. So I am going to add this this closing comment tag. So I would suggest to change this to an or later on, because I'm just going to link a blog post in the chat. And I'll link that in the YouTube description too, or Alex will. Okay, so I'm going to save this now, and I'm going to, I need to, I need to find a template that's using this, and then I need, so what we're going to do is, we want to view this page. Oh my god, it's so hard when it's narrow. Okay, so we want to view the, I want to put this here, and then I want to put a space here, and then I want to save this, and then see how does it look. What is it doing? Oh, because it's using page name, so I need to put a name. Okay. So the name is Arid Planet. Whoops, there's another. Whoops. Okay. Something's wrong. I'm missing a .png, aren't I? Hmm. If wait, oh, I have this if image thing. Okay, so and I don't want this. That's probably better. Okay, let's try this. I'm like seriously missing CSS, by the way. Okay, so what is this? Wait, chlorine planet? What? How is this getting chlorine planet? Oh, there's an image parameter. Oh, the source is image? Dude, I hate portable info box. I actually hate portable info box so much. Okay, so we're gonna use or and we're gonna put okay, so this is a little hard to read at lower resolutions, but I'm gonna put uh and then we're gonna do this. So this is the fallback. And then this is like ending the or. And then we're gonna comment out this new line. Oh, there's okay, cool. I think this is right. So let's try this. Um, cool. What's this say? All right, cool. That seems like it's working. You gave me the least used info box that your wiki has historically been and continues to be a mess. Well, can you link me a page where the page name is actually equal to the image because I want to make sure that my or is correct. Or you know what? That's fine. I'm just gonna lie and I'm gonna say that I'm gonna like pretend for fakesies that uh the name is this. And I'm gonna delete this and I'm just gonna preview once. Okay, so yeah, my or is probably correct. Cool. All right. So I think I have one mistake because I'm missing one field. The distance should exist unless the whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, the distance is empty. So I'm just gonna say like 100 meters, and I'm gonna preview this, and I'm gonna see if the distance. Okay, so the distance is 100 meters is like so. 100 meters is completely the wrong scale for a planet. I I don't, I maybe like 100 light years or something. Let's just say 100 light years. I don't actually know what the SI unit for light years is, but is light years even like an SI unit? Or like, I don't know what you would say for light years. Do you say LY? Okay, so is desk even like I don't see desk here. Like a desk, it doesn't exist. So untitled, why does it like have desk? Because like desk isn't like this doesn't support desk. Like that's not this template doesn't have desk. So is desk supposed to be supported? Because there's no like it has desk, but there's no desk here. It's not. Do you want me to like add a description field for it to be supported? Okay. I do you want it like as an image caption or how should I just like add it under general information as like a normal field? I think I like I know I have a like an image caption. Okay, I don't remember how I have image caption. Yeah, without a label. Okay, I'll just like add it as a first field. So okay, so I'll add like as under general. So I'll add description. So I'll have desk here, and then I'll have So then desk no label is yes. So then we'll save this. And then I think that's supposed to default center. And I thought that Mr. Pi made CSS so that that default centered when you made it wide like that, but maybe not. So I'll just like uh it, well, okay, I'll do it later. So we'll pretend that that's centered, and this isn't a CSS class, so we'll just pretend that that's centered, and later I'll make that centered. Okay, so then there's supposed to be a title too, and I forgot to make the title. So the title is supposed to be page name, but it'll be name or page name. So the title is gonna be, well, and I don't want, so we'll put that here. So the title is gonna be and this is gonna be name or page name, and then or. So then let me blank out at the second. Okay, so now it says Arid Planet. So is this all of the untitled? Is everything good? I mean, obviously, like this is like a rest of the owl kind of thing, but is everything good except for the looping fields now, and we can move on to the lower part? Or is there like, is there other stuff to do like inside of the MediaWiki still? Okay. All right. So we're going to continue on to the looping parts. And again, like most of the work is in Lua. But so to recap, the part that we've done so far is that we've created these 3 sections. The first section is general, but general doesn't have a label. I'm just going to quickly show what it would look like if general did have a label, because I want to make sure that you understand how, like, what's going on here. So general looks like this, okay? And then just to, like, again, like really make sure that you understand. If composition, I'm just gonna like put some fake information here. So I'm gonna say like composition equals composition field 1 and resources. Okay, so these fields don't exist, okay? And then, oh, oh, wait, okay, so there's actually data here. Never mind. I'm gonna give the actual fields that are here. So I'm gonna say like field 1 and element 2. And then I'm gonna put like resource 1 here. Okay. And I think I'm gonna undo 3 edits after this. Okay. So this is I miscopied something. What did I miscopy? Resources. Okay, I'm gonna undo 4 edits after this. Okay, so this is what we've made, okay? So we have these 3 sections and general composition resources, and I'm gonna undo actually 5 edits after this because I'm gonna do one more thing. So if I reorder this, okay, so that if it's like, if I put general resources and then composition, okay? So now they're in this order, okay? Because the order is controlled by this section's parameter over here, right? General, comma, resources, comma, composition. So this controls the order. And then over here, we control what are the fields in each section, okay? So these are the fields in the general section. These are the fields in the composition section. These are the fields in the resources section. And the order of named parameters doesn't matter. So the order of the parameters here doesn't matter. These are, this is the order that controls the order here. And then this is the order that controls the order of the parameters here. And there's only one thing here, and this is the order that controls the order here. And then these are just modifiers, okay? So if you want to make this not have a label, you put underscore no label equals yes. If you want to change the label, you change the label with underscore label, and then you put the new label, right? Underscore label equals capital G distance, underscore label equals capital G type. We would write kittens. Okay, we could write and label equals kittens, and then it's gonna say kittens. Right. So now it says kittens. So this is all. How would we put a short text above the image? Above the image, like right here. Um. So short text above the image, like this. Yeah. So the image is like the image is kind of a fake image. Like it's called image, but all it really means is a field that goes where the image goes. So in fact, you could like delete this and you could just like have this and then you're like, oh haha, that's an image. And so like there's like some CSS here, like there's some class names that uh it's called druid main image, and there's some classes that make sense for an image, but like it doesn't really care. It's just gonna put whatever you put there, and you know it kind of hopes that there's an image, but you know just just put whatever. I mean, put an image there because you should, but like do whatever you want. But I mean, put an image there. Okay, so I'm gonna like hopefully I have a single edit summary. So I hope I can figure out which is the right one. Let's see. Can I figure out based on timestamps? There okay, I think it's probably this one. Because I think I like took a break after I did the right thing. Um it's like it's probably this one. It's gotta be this one, right? I think it's this one. It's not this one. Okay, let's see. All right. Well, okay. So I'm gonna do like a magic trick. So wait, I tried like this one and it wasn't this one. So this is why I have these. Okay. Um, let's see. So this one doesn't have title. This one has title. Uh, this one could be right. This one is wrong. Okay, it's this one. It's this one. I think it's this one. It's not this one. Is it this one? Oh, it's this one. All right. Great. Okay. It's this one, right? This is right. This is right, right? Okay. Yeah. All right, we got it. Well, I'm more like because the other one didn't have a title. I don't know like why it didn't have a title, but okay. All right, we did it. Okay. Fantastic. So let's do Lua now. So we're gonna do Lua. So okay. So we're gonna do a hook. So I'm gonna talk about the hooks first, and then I'm gonna write code. So I need to open Um, bum. You guys like don't have syntax highlighting, or maybe you do, and I disabled syntax highlighting. Okay, so this is the castArgs function. Okay, hold on, I need to do my magical thing. Let's see, I can do a little more, and then I'm gonna press the magical thing. It's so loud. It's so fucking loud. Okay. So this is a castArgs function. By castArgs, I mean like take the arguments function and change the types of it so that it's stuff I can work with. Because all of the arguments are sent to Lua from MediaWiki as strings, and everything starts out as strings, and you can't do shit with strings. You need to have like tables and lists, and tables and lists in Lua are the same. So I really just mean tables, and you want to have booleans, and that's pretty much it. You don't get anything else in Lua but strings and tables and booleans, and null, which is actually nil. That's the same thing. So that's pretty much what I mean. It's just those things. but anything except for strings. You don't want to work with strings. And what you get is strings. So castArgs means starting out with strings and getting anything but strings because you don't want strings. So castArgs means not having strings anymore. So that's what we're doing, is not having strings anymore. So there's 2 times that you might want to run your own code. And one of the times is when you have strings, and one of the times is when you don't have strings anymore. And when you want to run code depends on, do you want to work with strings or do you want to not work with strings? And you might want to work with strings if you want to give strings to the code. So if it might be easier to give the module strings, okay? Or it might be easier to give the module tables. And which one is easier to generate depends on what you're doing. And I haven't really thought about it in this case. And I don't think it actually matters in this case. I think it's pretty equivalent. I think we could do either one because we're not. Yeah, I don't think it really matters. I think we can work with either one. I think we'll probably do this one. I think this is probably the default one that you want to work with because, like I said, strings kind of suck to work with. You're usually gonna want to work with this one, but I do provide both of them because you might wanna work with either of them. So if you want to work with strings and you want to give the module strings, you work with this one. If you want to take tables and give the module tables, you work with this one. You cannot take tables and give the module strings, and you cannot take strings and give the module tables. It does not work that way. You cannot do it. You cannot mix and match. You have to take one and give the module the same thing. Because if you try and mix and match, then everything is going to crash because you don't get to jump from here to here, and you don't get to jump from here and go to here because see they're on opposite sides. They don't mix and match. Okay, so that's kind of the important thing to know. So there is a lot of comments here. I don't have any syntax highlighting in my code editor, and that is kind of irritating me right now, but we're gonna try and make do. I also don't want any of these comments right now, and like I said, we're probably not gonna do the start one, but I'm not gonna delete this right now just in case. Did I seriously put oh, because I wrote this in Sublime Text. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this. Oh, I need this here. Okay. And then we're gonna have this, and then we're gonna get rid of this, and then we're gonna get rid of this, and then we're gonna get rid of this, and I'm totally gonna regret to. Okay, so I need to have the example code open on my other monitor. So give me 1 sec while I open this on my other monitor so that I can see this. DRUID Infoboxes. I need Infobox/hooks, and then I'll be able to do this if I can see this on my other monitor. Let's see. I'm gonna put this up here. Okay. All right. Fantastic. That is the shittiest example ever. Okay. And I really want 2 spaces as the only indentation here. Okay. So the kind, I need to see what I put for my kind here. Did I really? Oh, I see. Okay. I put the kind as destination. Okay, so the kind is going to be destination. Okay, so we're going to say local I gets 1, and then we're going to make a while loop, and then we're going to say args. So we're first going to work with the elements, and then we're going to work with the resources. Okay, so we're working with the elements first. So uh, concatenation in Python uses the same operator as plus. Hold on one sec. I told you at the start I was gonna have to take my scarf off. I've got to do that now. 1 second. Okay, hello, I'm back. Wait, can you hear me? Because I muted my mic and I need to make sure I unmuted it. I think you can hear me. Okay. So in Python, concatenation and addition use the same operator. Hold on, I need to click this. This is okay. So this is in Python. In Python, you do 1 plus 1, and you also do you do uh hat plus hat. In Lua, you do 1 plus 1, and you do cat concat hat. In PHP, for the record, you do cat concat hat with 1 dot, and it is really, really, really annoying to go between Lua and PHP because in Lua it's 2 dots and in PHP it's 1. Uh, we're just doing Lua, so 2 dots. But just for the record, in PHP it's 1, in Lua it's 2. So we're gonna use the 2 dot concatenation operator, and we're looking for element dot dot I element dash dot dot I. Okay. Um, in Lua, you are allowed to concatenate an integer with a string. Lua does not have strong typing, so this is legal. In some languages, this is not legal, but in Lua, you are totally allowed to concatenate a an integer, any number with a string. Totally allowed. Write the closing end when you open a block of code. Just write it at the start, uh, and then write the middle afterwards. Um, so if this doesn't exist, then we won't do anything. If this does exist, then we will do something. And I'm gonna want to make a table here. And I'm gonna want to call this table elements. Again, in Lua, there is no difference between lists uh, and dictionaries. They're all tables. Okay, so in JavaScript, if you want to do an array, you do brackets, and then you would have like a comma b comma c. In Lua, and if you wanted to do, you would do like a1, b2, c3, and these would be different. In Lua, you do a comma b comma c, and you do a1, b2, c3. Exactly the same. Uh, they're all tables. So we're going to make an array, and these are going to have integer indices, but we're still using curly braces for it because this is Lua. Okay. So we're going to append. Here's how you append in Lua. This is how you append in Lua. It is possibly the worst appending to an array syntax in any language ever. Okay. This is how you get the length of an array. You write number or hash symbol, pound symbol, whatever you want to say. This is how you get the length of an array, and then you write +1. First of all, this should just be illegal because you're referencing a index that doesn't exist. Okay, and this is how you get the fucking length of an array. This is how you append to an array. It's not an operator. You just reference a non-existent array key, and then you assign to it. It's fucking terrible, but this is how you do it, okay? And then we're going to write this absolutely terrible thing. So, okay. So, oh, wow, okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to check if these things exist. And so there's a couple things I have to check for. So okay, so I have to say if so I have to say local img gets so I'm gonna use a ternary here. I'm gonna say args oh wait, no, this is the resource thing. Okay, so I'm gonna say element dash I image or oh wait, hold on. Okay. This is a lot of okay, so this is sorry, I just have to type for a sec. Okay, did I get this right entitled? Can you tell me? Forget the image functionality? God damn it! The image will never not exist as the element name? Fuck you too. Just use element dash I. Well, if I if this isn't wrong, then I'm leaving it because I typed it already. But if it's wrong, then I'll change it. Um Oh, I did actually leave out something though. There should be 20x20 pixels here. And this has a uh yeah, you know what? I need to say I've typed this way too many times. Oh, is it a time that you couldn't be sure if the image existed with that name? Okay, so to the best of your ability to read Lua code, can you tell me if this seems more or less correct? Um, so I think I need to do something with the amount, but I don't quite understand what I need to do with the amount because I don't see the amount. I don't understand. The amount is the amount is the la- the amount is why is the amount the label? I don't understand. Oh, the amount is the label. I see. The amount is going to be a percentage. That is that is um that is a questionable use of data presentation. Dude, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So these are non-unique labels. So I can't use these as the labels. I gotta make my own labels and then use these as the labels. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. So we're gonna. So this is composition. Okay. So I don't actually want to make this elements. I want to make this args composition. Okay, I need to look at my Infobox code real quick because I can't actually quite remember. Oh no, okay. Um, hmm. This is so I need to generate unique keys for each of these. So I'm gonna call it so I want to say so while I have this, then I want so this is actually an acceptable key to um what is the it's e dash amount, and then well, okay. So then I don't really need that. I just want. Okay, that's fine. So let me see if this just works now. I don't know if this is gonna work. So if this works, what? God damn it! This is so hard without syntax highlighting. I may need to do this in Sublime Text so that I get syntax highlighting because I don't even have line numbers right now. I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's not even. What? 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 Oh my god. Okay, I need to open this in Sublime Text, guys. I cannot do this without. Okay, hold on. And I need to um, because I need to open something that's gonna share my bot password on my other monitor. So I absolutely cannot open this on this monitor just yet. Um. Oh, this is hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, so let me close this and then let me open Alt F9. And then I want to type oxygen not included. And I want to type Alt F11. And I want to put module infobox slash hooks. And I'm going to pull this open. Okay. And then I want to Control A, Control C, Control V. Oh, that's okay. It's so loud. Whoa, why is it? Oh, did my license expire? Oh my god, I think my license expired. Oh, I have some syntax error. Where's my syntax error? Oh, I'm missing a bracket here. Whoa, what the hell? Wait, what am I doing? Oh, yeah, okay. Um, can I like scroll zoom? I can. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry for not talking very much. In the past, I've like been reluctant to do a Lua class because I'm like, oh my god, if I do a Lua class, I'm just gonna write code and I'm not gonna be able to type much or talk much. And now I'm like doing Lua. I'm like not talking at all because I have to just type. This is not where I want to preview. We're not gonna preview. I want to preview here. Okay. Let's see. Does it work? It's not gonna work. There's no way it's gonna work on my first try. Uh, yeah. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, I didn't put I plus equals 1. Okay, well that's close. So the label. Okay, hold on. So the args, the label is supposed to be. Oh my god, you guys! Oh, Untitled went to sleep. God damn it. Untitled is back. Oh, he said he'd be back. Okay. Untitled, you had better fucking stay because you were right, this sucks. Um, so I like it's kind of close. So the hold on. Okay, I want to make the field be just E. So I'm just like gonna debug because I want to see what E is. So like this is like obviously not correct. Wait. What? That that was supposed to make it less correct. Oh, wait, oh I see. No, I don't see. Um What is E? So the composition. So I'm appending E to the composition, and E is like the element key. And then I'm like giving E this little. Wait. Okay, so this should just make all of the field C kittens. Okay, that did indeed make all of the field C kittens. So this is supposed to just make them say, oh, I understand. Okay. E isn't what I thought it was. Damn it. Okay, it should work in a sec. Um, okay. Not quite. I'm missing an E. So that is equal to E. I think maybe that, no, that should be the key. Wait, I wanted that to be the key too. I don't think this is gonna change it though. Oh, that works. Okay, fantastic. Cool. I think this is good. Let me change this to be 30% and make sure that it like knows the. Okay, yeah. So that's 50. Okay. And I think I can like. Can I just like copy paste? It like is resources the same thing? Like if I just copy paste this but change, uh, if I like change out element for resources, is it working? Is resources exactly the same thing? Okay. So let me do a, oh, I need I. So this wasn't that bad. I just like made a, like, it would have been a lot easier if I just started editing in Sublime Text. So I'm doing in selection and I'm gonna change composition to resources. And then I'm gonna find selection and then I wanna change element, whoops, to resources. So I think this is the same now. So let me change this again. So I'll explain everything I'm doing now after I save this. And let me just add another resource here. Uh Also a resource and then resource to amount equals 17. And then let's save this. This, you lied to me. Oh, is resource singular? Okay, I messed up. It's my fault. Oops. What? What just happened? Oh, I saved the wrong page. Why did my theme just change? Do you what? Why did my theme just change? Why is my theme different? What happened? Why is it green now? Untitled, what happened? Anyway, it works. Why is my theme green? Did I break something? Did you guys edit CS? Is someone editing CSS on your wiki right now? No one's editing CSS on your... No, it's the wiki. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Anyway, let me explain let me explain what's going on with this hook. Okay. Cuz I feel like what I did is very unclear and no one is... I mean, am I correct that no one really understands what happened here? I think nothing was working and then I I was like, "Oh my god, it's not working." And then I opened this program and suddenly it works. Okay. So so what's going on? So what does Druid want? Okay. Um so remember, Druid wants two things. The first thing that Druid wants is Druid wants this composition, which is going to be a list of the fields for a composition. Right. So we have this composition section and we have this resources section. So composition is going to be the fields for composition, and resources is going to be the fields for resources. Okay. So we want composition and we want resources. So these are exactly the same. They work exactly the same way. They do exactly the same thing. I literally made one by doing a find replace, admittedly with a mistake in the middle, from the others. So we'll just talk about composition. Resources behaves exactly the same way. Okay. So we start out by making sure that we're in a destination info box. Okay. Kind is destination. This is not interesting. We're in a destination info box. We're going to start with setting I to 1, and then at the end of each loop, we're going to increment I by 1. So that's what this block of code is doing. Okay. So the interesting lines are between here and here. Okay. So we have an incrementer between here and here. And what is this analogous to is where's I I I closed my info box. I closed the example info box. Oh, I have Dark Reader. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I have Dark Reader. Info box destination. Okay. So this incrementer, what is it analogous to? This 1, 2, 3, 4 untitled. Untitled. What is this? What's going on here? What is this? What, what is this? You've got this resource 5. What is this code? It's resource 5. So we've got resource 3 here. And resource 3 has all the 3s, and then resource 4 has all the 4s, and then resource 5 has all the 5s. All the 5s. All the 5s. The 5s. So in Lua, we don't have to worry about human error accidentally copying a 1 in the middle of the section of 5s, the way the template accidentally has a 1 in the middle of the 5s. So the I equals I plus 1 is analogous to incrementing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's what's going on with the loop here. Okay. So the key and the E here are because I make a lot of typos, just like the O and I editors. I'll stop making fun of you now. I promise. I don't promise. So the key is so the real reason I did this is because I kept forgetting to type this dash here. Like 7 times I forgot to type this dash. So I was like, all right, I gotta alias this element dash dot dot I. It was so hard to remember to type the dash plus the 2 dots. So the key is element dash dot dot I, and the reason it's called key is because it's the key of the args table. So it's the key that you find the element at, and E is short for element. So these are just 2 aliases that are going to help me while I'm typing logic. Okay, so I'm going to relegate this to wrapper code here, and I'm going to say that this is the this is the this is the interesting part is in here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is so if you were paying very close attention, you heard me say something about how I have to make up a name for the for each line of this because the names that the ONI editors are assigning to these fields are not unique because as you can see here, they're giving these labels non-unique names. It's 50% salt, 50% crushed rock. Because so I'm so this composition table, this table here, remember this table is an array, okay? Array containing the list of fields in the composition section. Guys, spelling is so much harder than writing code. I'm gonna just save this comment real quick. Okay. So this is gonna be name of the field for this value of I. Okay, so remember okay, remember when we made the section for where are we? General words. Okay, so remember when we made these general sections here, and we said that here are the labels for type and distance. Okay, so we could have done something like this. We could have said gen field 1, gen field 2, gen field 3, and then we could have been like gen field 1 no label is yes, and then we could have been like gen field 2 label equals type, and then gen field 3 label equals distance. Okay, does this make sense? We could have like this is kind of the same thing, right? So on the content page we would have been like gen field 2 equals and gen field 3 equals, and instead of desk we would have been like gen field 1 equals, and we would have said like terrestrial planet, and then we would have said like 100 light years. So this is like the same thing, right? I'm missing a pipe here. Right, this is the same thing. This would have given us the same thing as we have right now if we had done this instead. And I mean these aren't very descriptive names, right? But it would have worked. We could have done this if we'd wanted to. These would have been, by the way, Lua is 1 indexed. Forgot to say that. Lua is 1 indexed. Lua goes 1, 2, 3. Python goes 0, 1, 2. Most sane programming languages go 0, 1, 2. Lua goes 1, 2, 3. It's actually kind of great that Lua goes 1, 2, 3 because MediaWiki also goes 1, 2, 3. If Lua went 0, 1, 2, MediaWiki goes 1, 2, 3, there's kind of a disconnect. It would be a little confusing. I'm kind of glad MediaWiki picked another language that goes 1, 2, 3. It's kind of great. Anyway, this would be a little bit confusing because the documentation would be like, oh yeah, you put the type of planet in the field called general field 2. You put the distance in the field called general field 3. And people would be like, could you please give names that are a little bit more straightforward than that? Because I can't really remember where you put any field name. And people would be like, your naming conventions suck a lot, and everyone would be a little bit mad at you. But it would work. You could do this if you want. Now, the thing about when you are writing Lua code and you are generating the field names yourself is that no one's going to give a shit what you call your field names. And when you are automatically generating the field names yourself because you are writing the field names inside of a hook and no one's going to see the names of the field and everything's happening in the backend like this, no one's there to yell at you that you have bad field naming conventions. And when all that matters is that all of your fields have unique names, you actually kind of want your field names to be named something like general field name, general field number 1, general field number 2, general field number 3, or in this case, composition field number 1, composition field number 2, or actually element 1, element 2, element 3. So in this case, I was actually like, okay, you know what? Well, I could name it composition 1, composition 2, composition 3. But I looked at this and I was like, actually, you know what? Element dash 1, element dash 2, element dash 3, element dash 4, that's actually already a set of unique field names. Why would I bother changing that? They're actually giving me something that I can just use. So I was just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to use these as the unique keys and I'm just going to keep that as is because these are already indexed. These are already unique. These are already similarly named. I can just roll with that. I can keep those as my unique incrementing field names. And I'm just going to put those as my table keys. So normally I would do something like okay, I would be something like okay, I'd be like local element key index name equals element. Okay, and then I'd be like uh element key index name uh with I appended to it. Okay. And then I'm 100% sure this is like super unique and it's not going to interfere with anything else. And it's like definitely my internal thing. And uh, there's no way that an editor is accidentally going to name something that is called underscore underscore element. And if you see element key index name in the middle of my code, you absolutely know that I'm talking about the key index name of element, right? Like there's no ambiguity about what I'm talking about if you see that in the middle of my code. And I would name that in it's called Screaming Camel Case is like literally the name of like like writing in all caps like that with underscores. And I put constants like that at the top of my code. And then like you know that it's a constant and it has some meaning in the entire body of code. But in this case, it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna use element. I'm gonna use element I. I'm just gonna call it that. Okay. So I have all of these. I have all of these keys that I'm just going to put in this composition table. Remember, this is on castArgs end. Okay. So on castArgs end, I'm working with tables. I'm in the environment where I've already taken the strings. The Druid framework code has taken the strings and it has said, I fucking hate strings. I want to work with tables. No more strings, tables. Everything is tables now. And we're in working with object land. So everything is tables. So my composition field is now tables. It's now an array. So the composition section is now a table and I have a table of strings instead of a comma separated string of strings. So when I give the list of all of the section or all of the fields that I'm going to have in this section, I'm giving it a table. I'm not giving it a comma separated string. So so that's what I'm doing in this line. So I feel like I've talked for like 20 minutes now about this one line of code, but this one line of code is like the most important line of code in this entire function, and this one here. But this is just a copy paste of this line. Okay. So now this is the label, right? The label is the amount, and this is what I messed up before. I had accidentally typed this as e because I forgot what e meant when I was doing this without syntax highlighting. I forgot how I had assigned e. So that is the bug that I had in my code before. So it was like I forgot what e was. So the display that I want is element dash concat with I, concat with dot dot dash amount, right? That's what I want to be displaying over here. So that's what I want for the underscore label parameter. Um, all of the label parameters just live freely in the args table, okay? And that's something that you sort of need to work with Druid to kind of just know that. You know, if you've never worked with Druid before, that's the kind of thing that you would ask me. You're like, oh, I want to write this hook for Druid. I don't know how to modify the label in the hook. You would probably ask me how you do that, and then I would tell you how you do that. Or you might read an example. I don't remember if any of the example hooks change any of the labels, but let me check. I have that open right here. You might be able to figure that from an example, but that's the kind of thing you would ask me, or you'd read the source code or something, or you would look at this example, or you would watch this video. So yeah, so the labels just live freely in the args table, and it looks it up when it's formatting all of the cells. So we get the amount, and then we put that into the args table, and later on it'll figure it out. Then we do this ungodly formatting thing, and you know, this is just some string formatting. It's ungodly. %s. There's two ways you can do string concatenation in Lua. This is like string.format in Python. So in Python you do this like curly brace thing, and then you put the format in between the curly braces in Python. In Lua you use %s. And you can do string dot format, and then you can do like comma whatever, and then you can also put the string and wrap it in parentheses. Lua uses a colon for class operators or like class methods, instead of a dot. I really like the lack of ambiguity in Lua's built-in syntax, where you use a colon for class methods and you use a dot dot for concatenation instead of using a dot for class methods and a plus for string concatenation. So you know, %s, and then we use that over here too. Here we are interpolating two things into the string. So I'm just doing this in two parts. We could put this we could put this entire thing over here, and we could do this like all at once, but it's just it's too much. Like we could have 3 arguments over here, and you know, we could have like one less line of code, and it's so hard to read, especially because I was doing this in my browser before, and I didn't have any code formatting, and I was like, oh, it's so gross. But anyway, this is a whole bunch of string formatting, and apparently I didn't even need to do it because you don't have to do the extra images and whatever. String formatting is string formatting. So yeah, that's again, this is the single most important line of the entire file. If you understand what's going on here, where this is the array containing the list of fields in the composition section, and over here we are deciding that we're going to use the user supplied name of the field as our internal name of the field, and we're going to, as we increment I, we're going to append that user supplied name here, and then we're going to add a little bit of metadata. The little bit of metadata, you know, I say a little bit of metadata, that's like the label and the value of the field. That's kind of like everything that you need to know about the field, but like really all that we need to know is how we look up the fields. And once you know how you look up the fields, once you have that internal name of the fields, this list of fields, the name and the value of the fields is just kind of an afterthought. You just kind of put that into the args table, as the key and the key underscore label, and the args table only really has to know how to look up all the fields. And so then we do that for composition, we do that for resources, and that's all you should do. And again, on castArgs end wants to have objects. On castArgs start, we're not doing anything here. This would want to work with strings. There's not many times you would want to work with on castArgs start. Usually you're going to want to work with on castArgs end, because when you're working in Lua, it's not happy to work with strings. You really want to be working with objects when you're working in Lua. MediaWiki is the opposite. When you're working on MediaWiki, it's very difficult to finesse around the templating language preference to work with strings, and it's very hard to it's very hard to get objects when you're in an environment where everything is a string. And in Lua, you have to very deliberately get strings. So, I give the option to get strings if you want to, but you're usually going to want to work with it on castArgs when you're in Lua. So, you have a Druid info box. As I said, I will send you this text for you later. I've only tested this on one page. It's possible there's still bugs. However, I know for a fact that there's bugs in your portable info box. So it's quite possible that there are fewer bugs in the Druid info box than there are in the portable info box. So you are welcome to switch now if you want. You could just copy you can copy the Druid info box code over to the template name. You can copy the Druid info box page over here as soon as I've given you the extra CSS. You might want to wait a little bit after the CSS for the browser cache to update. I'm happy to help if you want to update other templates to PI. I know we were talking about another info box a couple days ago. I could potentially also do another stream about this. I feel like maybe I should do another stream that has maybe a little bit. I mean, this one had 2 fields total that were actually in PI, and it was mostly a Lua stream, and then the Lua stream was I just waved my hands and then the whole thing was done. So I would be happy to do another stream, but let me close out the recording and then I'll chat a little more. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much for stopping by. If you edit on WikiGG, thank you very much for editing on WikiGG. If there's another topic that you would like to see a live class about, please stop by our Discord server. The link will be in the description of the video below. Please do subscribe to our channel and join the Discord server. Stop by our events channel. Join our live events, hang out and chat, suggest topics if you are so inclined, or otherwise just stop by our YouTube channel. If you don't edit on WikiGG, please do consider opening a wiki with us. We would love to have you. And otherwise, thank you so much for spending your time on this channel, and we'll see you next time.